everyone. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by Playform. Playform is a no-code AI tool for creative people. Our platform makes it possible for all creative people to incorporate AI into their art practices without learning how to code. Playform is used by artists throughout their creative process, from the stage of looking for inspiration to the preparation of assets, all the way to producing final works. I'm Jennifer Chang, and today I'll be speaking with Playform's most recent artist in residence, Sturec. Sturec is a digital animator with a background in engineering and design. Born in Izmir, Turkey, the artist followed life studies and exhibitions all around the world to places including Paris, Istanbul, and Bangkok. Her breadth of work expands across design, technology, engineering, and tattoo art. Sturec takes a holistic approach to her art, both in ideation, practice, and medium. Her wide range of experiences across industries and cultures has provided her with a unique approach and perspective to digital art. Her technical background often manifests in her artwork, which is often abstract in nature. As a self-proclaimed math geek, Sturec's work is heavily influenced by geometry, and she has been actively creating NFTs since 2018 and selling across platforms including Super Rare, Maker's Place, Known Origin, Rarible, and OpenSea. Today, Sturec will share her experience using Playform AI in this most recent exhibition she launched today, from ideation to completion. The artist will also share tactics and tips for NFT creators who want to use Playform in their designs. If you have any questions for Sturec or anything about this exhibition, please add them to the chat and we'll get to them at the end of the conversation. And now please join me in welcoming Sturec. Hey, Sturec.
Hey, thank you,
Hi.
Jennifer. How are you?
I am great. As you know, today is 420, the high holiday. So it's just a great reason to celebrate. I'm sure a lot of people here, you guys are in different time zones, so you guys might have already started, but it's a little early over here. All right. So, I think let's just kind of kick this off by launching the most recent exhibition that we collaborated together on, this artist residency. I'm sure some people have already seen it since we pushed it live earlier today, but we'll start with the video. Mirabel, can you get us started?
This is my brain. This is drugs. This is my brain on drugs. Any questions?
All right, thank you. And so for all of you out there, that was My Brain on Drugs by Sturec using Playform AI. And we're really excited to be launching this exhibition today on 420. The auction is currently live on OpenSea, and we'll be sharing the link inside the chat. So keep an eye for that. So let's just get started. Sita, can you take us through the series of work and, kind of explain, how did this all come together?
Yeah, first, so let me share my screen. Okay. So first, let's go to the OpenSea link and look at some of the videos. I'll start with my favorite one. I don't mean the drug, like the favorite video.
And I got the bid on this one if anyone wants to outbid me, but I will bid back.
Yeah, so I might not be able to read the drug name, so can you help with me?
Cybacillin. Cybacillin. Yeah, it's
okay. So this is my favorite actually, and Playform. It's made by the Playform Video Future. So, and it was really interesting and fun to make this one actually. And I want to show how I made it, how I made the video after we check out the videos. Okay, so let's go around some of them. Okay, we have still images and we have some MP4s and also some GIFs. And
by the way, note that this is only the first 10. There will be a total
yeah,
of 40 in this entire collection, but we've just done drop one for now. If you'd like to see the rest, you can also always go on our the website that we've put up for this, playform.io/Sturec, and you can see the other 30 that are going to be coming soon as well.
so let's go to another drug. Okay, I want to show the MP4s first because like I really like how they look. I love them all.
Yeah, no, it's really like the way this all came together, I think has been just kind of the most interesting collaboration. You know, kind of just started working on this together and kind of jamming ideas. And then from there,
Yeah.
I think we've come up with something just so funny and also just beautiful. These works of art are like just so colorful and fun.
Actually, it was too interesting to get these results. I wasn't expecting this kind of results, actually, because like when you think of AI at first, you're like, you just want to see some shapes. Like you generally see some shapes and they look awesome. Okay. But like, this is really interesting that you get the brain image directly from the MP4. So this is a GIF, by the way.
Yeah, so maybe you can give the audience a little context into how this all came to be.
Okay, from the Playform website, you mean?
Oh no, I mean, what inspired this?
Oh, okay. So first, when we made our first meeting with Playform, actually, I was planning to put some shit photos and like I was planning to take some pictures of my dog's shit on the street. Also, I was planning to take some pictures of trash bins, but inside the trash bins. Also, like um, we were planning to ask some of the other artists, like living in other countries, to take their trash bin pictures and like put them in AI. Actually, I was planning some other weird stuff, but at while I was thinking, I had these MRI pictures, and like they were just standing on my computer, and I wanted to make something really different with them, like, but I wasn't sure what to do. So after the Playform residency thing, I was like, oh my god, brain MRIs, okay, AI, and I should add something to that. So like I like generative art and I make generative art. So like I should maybe like combine them and like make everything like put together. Like let's see what AI makes to my brain. And first we tried like actually we tried so many collections. Should I like show them at the moment or
Yeah,
just
why don't
show
we
them
get
later?
into that? So, and
Okay.
also just to be clear to the audience, these were actually Sturec's real brain scans. And so
Yeah.
these MRIs are actually of her brain,
Yeah.
which is why this exhibition is called My Brain on Drugs, because it's
It,
literally her brain
it,
that was used for this. And so if you've
it,
ever wanted to look inside the brain of an artist, this exhibition will show you that. So like, yeah,
yeah.
why don't we kind of go in and see what you were able to do inside Playform with your brain?
Okay, actually it was so fun. Let me just first I'll show some of the collections that I added to Playform before I started playing around. Um yeah, actually first I added the brain MRIs. It's funny because it was our last idea. But this is like actually you just upload your pictures. So these are the original brain MRIs, nothing made, not played around. And then so I was not sure how to like combine them, and Playform had like I had the, let me show it here. Okay, Playform has 3 training, oh, just give me a sec, I have to take this away. Okay, so it has 3 training options. So like you can put them to free forms. So you just put your, I just put my brain MRI to the AI, and you have creative morph and style transfer. Actually, I'll just mention with about creative morph because I use that all the time. So what I did with that is first I added my brain MRIs, and for the creative morph, you have to combine two different stuff. Like, let me show that. I just have to enter it first. Okay, where is it? I'm nervous. Okay, so like to create the process, you have to put inspiration images. So I put my brain MRIs as a collection here, and it takes the contours and other things, and it needs some influence images. So I had to think about what I should add to the influence images. So I added some different collections. I think I just abused the AI a little because like I added tons of stuff.
As we kept saying, we're like, you're overdosing the AI.
Yeah. And then Playform decided never to get another resident artist because they just abuse it. So I did some different collections. I added abstract designs. Also, these are just illustrations because I do illustrations as well.
And these were yours, right?
Yeah, they're all mine. And I added some fine arts that I made because I wasn't sure what I would get. Okay, it's just like experimental. I can prove that they are mine, by the way. Okay, so I put some abstract shaped fine art, and I also added some of the generative. Actually, this was for my Valentine's Day stuff, so I didn't use this, but this was one of the collections that I used. So these were made by processing. So I added these. These are all like before AI. So I added some processing software made generative
I love that you name your
artworks.
collection Colors and Shit.
Yeah. So these, and the last and my favorite textures are actually these ones, and we got the best results from these. These were made by using Touch Designer. It's also kind of, it's like something between Illustrator and like processing software. So these are also generative artworks. So I tried them all and made like tons of different AI trainings. And let me show, I think I have these here. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So by using the creative morph, I just added the brain MRIs, as I said. And for the influences, I tried to put like similar kind of images, but I also tried different versions as well. But the similar parts were better. So when I trained it, just give me a sec, I have to get rid of this again. Okay. So when I trained it, actually it gives you, yeah, it asks for you to train it for some, Playform recommends you to the amount of time you should train. And actually I got the best results when I was okay with Playform's timing. When I tried my own timing and like abused the system, it started giving me the same results. I'll just show that. Okay, so after training it for like 2 hours, I think, training the AI. By the way, I didn't do any coding. I just feed the website, the AI. So I got like 50 snapshots after 2 hours of feeding. And for this is cannabis. For this, I was really satisfied with the 14th snapshot. Like you can check every snapshot and see the different versions of how like they start uniting, and I think it's like gorgeous because you get really nice still images at the end if you like work the AI a lot. Like here, this is one of the like last snapshots, but the images starts getting like they become a whole. So it's not, it wasn't my best interest to make a video from those. So from this one, I picked the 14th snapshot. Mm-hmm. And because it was a because it was this one, the creative morph, I had to pick the snapshot and feed it to the freeform version. Do you see this thing here? No,
Yeah,
you don't.
I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay. So I had to feed it to freeform, so it would get a better like mixture. So here, after this is the like 14th snapshot that I showed you here with Creative Morph. So here we got these results. Freeform version of training only takes the images and you don't mix it with other collections, and it just combines them all. So this was the 50th result we got. So like you can get random things and different mixtures. After that, oh my God, this is not the one that I picked.
Yeah, there was as you guys can see, there was a lot of work put into this. A lot of it inside Playform, as well as components that were being exported
Yeah.
out. And so this tends to be in kind of in our months of residency, we do see that this is how a lot of artists use Playform, which is you put a lot of input in, you take the outputs, you put it back in, you keep kind of just mixing with the different tool sets between freeform and creative morph and style transfer to get the ultimate effect that you want. And so I think this is a really great example of how artists are using Playform.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is okay. I checked this one. This is the one that actually this is all of me and Playform team's favorite. So I'll just continue from that. This is again the the creative morph, and this is like my favorite influence set. All of them are like trained with the same MRIs. Okay, so after that, let's continue the okay, so this is the oh my God, I'm just ruining everything.
It's chaos inside the brain of an artist.
Yeah, like my brain, what the hell?
Is your brain
Okay.
Rita? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I actually I take the drugs and I just start using AI. So okay, this was again the creative morph of our favorite one. So this is the 16th snapshot. Let's just make like check one of those and like see the snapshot thing, how it just changes because it's from the same image with different patterns. Like okay, so I got the 16th one. The 16th snapshot was the best for me, of course. So I downloaded all of these images and I fed them to the freeform. So after that, I got this, and it was like this. This was one like I fell in love with this one. So after that, you just go to the video part. Okay, we got the clips now. Now it's cool. Okay, I have to take this away. Okay, so let me see if this is yeah. So for this part was actually really interesting because this is totally up to you. You just pick the frames that you want to play with, and these are the ones that I picked actually. And Playforms gives you the option to like because you see the smooth move between the images. Actually, Playform makes it. I don't make that. And for those smooth things, you can also like make different moves. So like, let's just see it. Like you see the like brain pop. It's just because of the reason is that I pick different versions of like how it's gonna act in between the images. So like we have this. Yeah, and this one is
And
like
that effect is just so powerful, like just kind of.
yeah.
And as we were creating this, we were talking a lot about the effects of different drugs and which ones kind of give you that feel versus kind of more of a smooth feel. And we're kind of playing around with those feelings of different drugs and stimulants.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, we all like try to pick the movements because some of them are like not really suitable for that drug. So this feature that like the cubic ease thing, it just gave the perfect result for the drug effect. So yeah, this is how it works. And
So this is
also
how you
my,
get your brain on drugs.
yeah, then I take drugs and I make AI. No, I don't do drugs.
No illegal drugs were taken in the development of this series.
Yeah.
The AI was the only one doing drugs, and I think that's still protected. AI doesn't live in a country. So why don't we kind of get in more now into kind of your career, and then we'll get to some of the artist questions. Thank you so much for taking us through that. Do you want to unshare your screen now?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry.
No,
I don't know how to use Zoom still. Yeah, we're doing it all the
you're
time,
into
but I
the
just
pandemic.
yeah.
So I just also wanted to talk a little bit about your career, because I think you've been an early adopter of this technology, which now NFTs, as everyone probably has been feeling like, you can't really be in a conversation that doesn't mention NFTs these days.
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy.
you're a software engineer, a tattoo artist, as well as an early adopter of NFTs. I think, just kind of going to the theme of this conversation, that's a lot of right brain, left brain. So how do the different aspects of your career and skill set come together in your work?
For NFTs or other things?
Your art practice in general, and just, yeah.
Yeah, actually, like I was a software engineer well like 8 or 9 years ago. So but it affects everything that I do still because my mindset is like over there. So I did some tattooing. I did some like I even worked at marketing and I hated it. Also, I did like graphic freelance stuff. Like I've done tons of different stuff. So like, but the thing is, I'm always like onto abstract and geometric things. But I when it comes to NFT, I feel like I've been using everything that I've learned in all the like 10 years that I lived after I graduated. I know I look young, but I'm kind of old.
Same here. No zoom ins.
No, no light. Okay. So like I think my background influenced me a lot when I entered NFTs. And at first I was only doing illustrations actually. But then I started like I went more on generative art in NFT works of mine. Yeah, that's how I went.
So, how did you first discover Playform, and how has it impacted your art practice?
Actually, I was always like interested in AI, but like I wasn't sure how like I can enter it. Like I wanted to play around with AI, and actually I think I discovered it like 6 or 7 months ago, and I tried that some stuff. Like I was playing around with it, but then like after the residency, after the Valentine's exhibition you guys had, like I checked around like Twitter and like Google. Okay, these guys are so cool. I have to do something with them. And then like I applied for the Valentine's Day thing, and like the results were great after I did some training. So like I just said I have to do something. Like I have to enter this, but I shouldn't be coding. Like they should be coding, and I have to be using it.
Exactly. I mean, I think a big part of it is, even if you know how to code, coding is just, it's time consuming. It takes a lot of time. And so, as a creative person, you really want to kind of get your ideas out as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Right? Kind of
yeah,
like all this stuff stuck in your brain. And so I think Playform, even for people with technical backgrounds such as
yeah,
yourself, I see that a lot of people really, actually, a lot of the technical people love it even more because they know how much time they're saving. And so I think it's just a really great, like, you can kind of see it as like a tech hack,
yeah.
where you can kind of have the AI do things fast.
And the results are great. Actually, I hanged around like in a GitHub checking out some like codes for AI and GOM, but like the results were, yeah, of course they were so cool too. But here, these results are, oh my God, it's so easy. I don't have to code. I like everything's so cool, and AI gets me.
And I think it works just really well. I mean, the name is Playform, and one thing I've really appreciated about the way you approach your art is you're very playful about it. I think there's, I don't think you take art, you're kind of, you are very serious and dedicated to your work, but I think you're always kind of looking for surprises and
Yeah,
experimenting with kind of real edgy ideas. And so
yeah.
I think it just kind of suits you in regards to that playful nature. Um, so what did you think working with a creative AI would be like? And what is it actually, has it actually turned into?
Well, I didn't get the
Oh, so
question.
before you use Playform, like what did you think it was going to be and versus what you actually now know it to be?
Actually, even though I was positive about it, I was expecting some like weird shapes. No, I checked out the website and I saw great stuff, but I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna put some proofs and shit, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna ruin it. Like they're gonna hate me.
Well,
Yeah,
everything that you
I
put
had,
in your
I
collections is
was,
private, and we have a lot of strange things in there, I'm sure.
yeah, actually, I was expecting some cool stuff, but I wasn't sure what I should put to get them, because that was the hard part. Like I knew that I would get some good stuff, but I had to do something for that. Like maybe I don't have to code, but I have to come up with something that's like, yeah, you can't just like, okay, some AI makes it, so just let's put some shit and it's gonna give you some cool stuff. No, that doesn't work that way. You have to do some work as well, and AI just makes it great.
And I love that you say that because, people, when we talk about AI, a lot of people think like, oh, the robots are out to take our jobs.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, but once you actually use Playform, especially as I work with artists, I'm like, how are you coming up with these ideas? Like, I would have never thought to put an MRI scan into Playform. I would have never thought about using Creative Morph to apply colors. I would have, like these are not things that I could have come up with. And I think that if anything, the AI is teaching us what art really is, what an artist really is, because the things that the machine can't do, I think, is really what's been the most powerful about Playform. What
Yeah.
this bring to the table, and the fact that it's the same code base, it's the same tool. We have thousands of artists using the same technology, but what they produce is just so unique and personal and different. Like I couldn't see My Brain on Drugs being made by any other artist. I think it really speaks to who you are as a person, and just kind of like the fact that you're just kind of comedy and experimentation and like wacky ideas, like that's your creativity, and the work you've put into it as well. I don't think AI can do this.
Yeah, I'm weird. I know. I'm a weirdo. I look like a normal person, but I'm just like weird.
And
But
we love
I'll just
for
I'll
it.
I'll put my poops and I'll just train the AI with that, and let's see how it's gonna like make it come on do something AI.
Everybody stay tuned for my shit on drugs. So, I mean, the next question is kind of similar. You were also an early adopter of the NFTs. You were one of the first people to really kind of jump into this new industry and art scene. Um, did you ever, what made you interested in this technology, and how did you get started?
Actually, I've been trading for a while. Like, I wasn't, I wasn't coding anything, or like I was just going around reading stuff. Um, and while I was trading, I was also interested in, okay, these are cryptocurrencies and they're dApps, and so what? Like, I was checking out forums and stuff like Bitcoin Talk. I couldn't find anything about art over there, so I started checking out like DappRadar and other websites.
Mhm.
So I was always looking for some art thing, but it was all like gambling and games. So one day I saw Super Rare over there in the dapps.com, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and no one's here, so I have to be in it. I have to be in it, and it should be a little community that I'm in. Like I should make cool friends. Okay, so my friend, just like I can see my troll friend is here. This guy is so cool. I love that guy. He's so cool. He's a good blockchain developer. I'm not a blockchain developer. I know nothing about it. Like, and he makes fun of me all the time. Okay, so let's read it. Go away.
And so how,
Okay.
like, did you think this NFT, kind of, did you think this would become as big as it has? Or has this been kind of like a huge surprise for you as well?
No, I knew that it would become a bubble. Actually, I know it's not right to say it's a bubble now, but I wasn't expecting it till like 2022,
Yeah, none of us expected.
maybe. Yeah, it was a little much too like early for me. Like I was expecting it to get bigger in a couple of years later. So right now it's huge, actually, maybe too huge. Like my grandma knows it. Like my like I say like, yeah, there are NFTs, and like, oh, you know that. And I get, dude, I've been talking about it for like 2 or 3 years and no one gave a shit. But can I say shit?
Of course, yeah, we're not censored. That's the great thing about the
Okay.
internet.
Okay, so fuck this. Okay. Okay, so I knew that it would be huge, and I tried to like, I invited a couple of really great artist friends of mine, and they didn't give a shit back in 2019. And right now, most of them are like, oh my God, how can we enter this space? Oh, what should we do? And I'm like, okay, I'll help you. But like, dude, I told you before, like,
And in my experience, that's the really exciting thing about, I think the internet has created just so many new industries, especially in the creative industries. And like you just kind of see this wave of early adopters, and they're very special people. Like early adopters create the industry. And now I think, yeah, the hype is kind of, this hype cycle has been really
that's
crazy.
crazy.
But that being said, the awesome thing is it's going to be bringing in a lot of talent and money into this new space, and I think it'll really catapult it. And I think right now we just have a lot of money and a lot of people, but we haven't really figured out. They haven't actually done anything to build the ecosystem. It's too early.
Mhm.
But now that they're here, they're going to start building. And I think early adopters like you really provide that foundation. And the other thing I notice with internet and creative industries is early adopters like you have a lot of data. You create data. So I think it's really important that artists get on this quickly, because the earlier you're in, the more data you'll have, and data is currency in the digital world. So speaking of which, for all the artists out there right now that are thinking about getting into the NFT industry, how do they get started? What's your
Who?
advice for
Oh, okay.
people
Okay,
attending
for
that want to know, how do you get into this?
I don't help people anymore. You should have think of that like 2 years ago. No, no, like I help people a lot. I actually, like, not most of them, but like half of the people that want to enter the space right now have the feeling that this is a place to get rich quick, because we have the mindset of like, oh my god, this is like Bitcoin, and you're gonna be selling like NFTs for like $10,000. So like, the important thing is people should be like focusing on their own style, because I see that most of them were asking me about, oh my god, people are selling like cubes, so should we be selling cubes? And I just tell them that like, you should do what you do, like don't change your style, because if you change it, you're gonna be just like copying someone. You're gonna be like a fake blah blah. So like you just go on your style, and like using Twitter is so important.
Mhm.
All the fake puns, like the good stuff, all the fake puns. I see that. Yeah, like you should put new stuff to the table, like something innovative instead of like copying anyone else. And it's really important to use Discord and Twitter for promoting yourself, but not like spamming people. Like
Authentic engagement. Yeah,
yeah,
actually
like
engaging
yeah,
with.
good engagement is like better, because collectors get pissed when you're like, oh my god, buy my stuff. Like, so you should be like really respectful, because people like being like, they don't want to be buttered up, but they want you to be like cool. So other than that, like you need to have a nice portfolio and a website, and that's all you have to do. Like you just apply to the platforms and then go to your own way, but
Mhm.
just be yourself. That's it. Like you shouldn't copy anyone. People copy and get rich, that's okay, but that's not my style. That's
Yeah,
not my
it's only
advice.
gonna last, you can only go so far copying someone else, right? Because like you're limited by what they do. Like if you're
Yeah,
copying, if you want
and
to
and
like
and
go
it's not
far.
like being creative. Just go to a corporate firm and just work over there if you want to be like something like, oh my god, people are gonna like,
Yeah, but
I have to shut up.
and I think that really also gets back to like, I think that's why especially in this new world where we have AI and we have blockchain and we have all these new technologies, like I think it's like you said, you have to really focus on your own style and
Yeah,
your originality. You have to do something that no one else can do, that
yeah.
machine can't do.
Yeah,
Um,
by the way, but I'm sorry. By the way, I don't mean like getting inspired by someone. Of course, you get inspired by people, but like, I mean, just like don't do the same thing that someone else did. Just add something to it. That's it.
Yeah, so for all of you who are thinking, I'm gonna go scan my MRI now, my brain now, and put it in a form and apply colors to it, you can do it, but you got to come up with some new edge to it. So,
You can do it. It's an idea. Like, just don't put the same textures that I put. That's all I say. Like, put
yeah,
something and
to another
put some
level.
shit to. Yeah, that's an idea. That is being influenced. Okay, that's okay.
All right, so now I'm gonna actually go into the chat and I'm gonna go through some of these audience questions. So just a
Okay.
lot of people saying this is really cool. People just kind of giving a lot of love out there. Someone said that the art should be considered for neuroscience studies. I don't know how scientific it is, but it's a lot of fun. And just kind of a lot of stuff there. So our first question is, do you have any suggestions for those who are a beginner at AI and ML studies and also interested in art, both visual and audio?
That's hard.
Yeah, I think an easy question to this is you should try Playform because I think it's a
Yeah, yeah. That's all I
great
can say,
genre.
because I don't go to AI. So you should try like Playform, or like check out the other codes to but you have to like try out some stuff. Just don't put something and just get weird. I can show the first results I got. Like they were like weird. I
Mhm.
wasn't like, what the hell did I do? And I didn't blame the AI actually. So you have to figure out how to use the AI. You know, to if even if you don't code. That's
Yeah, it's
important.
like getting to know someone, right? You have to get to
Yeah.
know the AI you're working with. And within Playform, there's multiple different AI programs. And
Yeah.
so kind of like meeting a whole new cast of friends.
I'm sorry.
We are all really working at home, guys. And so another question we got from the audience is, have you ever encountered setbacks in your projects? If you did, what were those, and what were some of the ways you solved those setbacks?
Like what kind of projects? Either them. I'm not
I
good
guess
at
like,
it.
if you've ever run across something where it was like, you're trying to overcome a difficulty.
Yeah.
blocks, like where you just don't know.
Yeah, I have them all the time, and I just got pissed and delete everything, and I just want to throw away my computer because I'm so angry and pissed. And I have a boyfriend for those, actually.
To
Uh,
throw it
yeah,
at.
that's my. You have to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I just want to like throw away my computer because I just like when I just have a setback, I'm like, I hate this. I'm never doing NFTs. I'm just leaving the space. Fuck everything. Then
So
he does
everybody
okay.
get a boyfriend to yell at.
Yeah.
That's how you move forward in your art practice.
Or the other thing, I just go to a totally another style or something else. Like for example, this is not what happened, but like I was doing fine art and I was like, oh my god, these look like crap, I can't do anything else. So okay, let's work on Playform, something totally different. I just
Switching
quit
gears.
it for a while if
Yeah.
my boyfriend is not around. Yeah, that's so if you can't get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you just switch what you are doing.
That's some great advice. We also got a question. I think you mean, is it platform versus GAN? I think you mean Playform versus GAN. Please explain what about the AI generated art and comping with other elements to come up with something different, AI and human combined. So I'm a little confused by this question, but I think you're asking what's the difference between Playform and GAN.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so actually the answer is Playform is powered by GAN networks. And so and we have some articles on our site that get into a little bit deeper into this. And so that might be something to check out. You can go to the editorial section of our website and get a little bit more information about that. And then yeah, we got when you mentioned the comment about people copying, we got a lot of comments about fake punks. We have fake punks and also Bruno Mars. So we also got a question about what are your thoughts about Discord?
Discord is the best place ever. I love Discord. Actually,
Like, what are some communities that people might want to check out? Some of your kind of like the best Discord groups that you think should get on.
I think if you want to be in the NFT world, you have to be on like Discord. Like I'm always online. I never used it. Like I was like, what the fuck is Discord a year ago? And right now I'm always there. And there are some super cool communities. And I don't want to advertise, but like I've been in the whale community. I think it's one of the biggest NFT communities. And I'm not bothering up whale shark because like he's already a friend of mine, but that guy for me, like there are a couple other collectors, that guy helped crypto art like a lot when it was like we were like the market was like this, and some of these collectors made it huge, and one of them was the whale community. So it's really cool. They can check out that community actually for me.
Yeah, and I really love like the collector base for NFTs is just so different from what you see in the fine art world, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, I would describe the new collectors, they're digital, they're millennial, they're global, right? Like they're really representing, I think, this shift, not only in art, but in the world and who we are now as a species. We are global, we are digital, we are connected. And I think that's what I personally just really love about this new kind of like NFT revolution hype, whatever you want to call it. I think it's bringing really new voices to the table, like Whale Shark, and like these collectors are contributing in a way, like just kind of new ways of thinking, new ways of art appreciation. The fact that they're not just like visual people, but also technical people, who really understand kind of this intersectionality of creativity and technology,
Yeah.
how it all ultimately goes back to innovation, which is what I think that's kind of the, as they keep saying, we're in the age of Aquarius. I feel like that's really where we're about these days. So we got a lot more questions now. What's the best platform for beginners of NFT?
Uh, Actually, we have like the top marketplaces don't like accept artists a lot at the moment. They just prefer rock stars now. But I remember the ghetto days. They were like, I remember who they were. So I'm not sure where to start, but most of the people that I've seen use Rarible,
Mhm.
but it's not really like it's not really effective because you need like verification thing to be seen over there. So people can try out other chains. Like there's Janar's favorite Avalanche chain, and also Binance has like the bakery swap thing, and I don't
Mhm.
know, new people are making building marketplaces and stuff. Like they can check out the others because like we have in Ethereum huge fees at the moment, so everything is so hard. But if I were a newbie at the moment, what I would do is I would probably apply Maker's Place because I know that they're still taking applications. I've seen most of the people using Foundation app,
Mhm.
but they don't have a secondary market. So like mm, they look cool, but secondary market thing, I think they'll
Yeah,
they
Bruce Goose also suggested Zora, and he also
what's
mentioned that there's
that?
marketplaces popping up all over the place. And yeah,
Really?
I think that's going to be a trend we see for the next year. I think there's going to be so many new marketplaces, and
Yeah.
especially like kind of the like the other marketplaces that were first, as you mentioned, a lot of them are not accepting artists, but I think there's going to be a lot more opportunity with this kind of new wave of new marketplaces that are also going to enter the industry. It's going to kind of
Yeah,
go in.
it's going crazy. My friend Janer, who's over here, I'm like promoting Janer. He's also creating a marketplace. That guy is so cool. By the way, I'm checking Zora. I think I've seen it. Yeah, this platform looks promising. Yeah,
So
thanks, Bruce the Goose. I'll check. I'll just start minting over there as well. I'll be everywhere.
So another question we got is, what is the future for NFTs? Look into your
Uh,
wall. Where are we going to be in, let's say, 10 years?
I think NFTs will be around a lot, but right now because we're in a little bubble, it's not like a really unhealthy bubble, but it's a bubble. Like let's be honest. So I think the bubble pops. I think there things gonna be like stabilizing and like the marketplace, everything will be like normal and more adaptive. So I think it will be around, and I'm I can't like say it's gonna be better than fine art because I think they're just two different stuffs. But I think it's gonna be around a lot because we're just going to virtual spaces. People have avatars and some shit, and they have like virtual homes, and they like putting their stuff over there. So it's gonna be around, that's for sure. I'll be around too. I like it over here.
Yeah, Sturec will be here to stay, guys. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think more so than a bubble, I would consider it just, it grew so fast, and anything that grows that fast needs to adjust. It needs to
Yeah.
have some kind of stabilizing factor. But I think we're still really early, because if you look at NFTs right now, I think there's about $1 billion worth of NFTs out there now, not just art. We crossed, I think they're estimating it's about 1 billion. If you look at the dot-com crash, 2 trillion was wiped out. So there was 2 trillion in value that was wiped out. So I mean, we're nowhere near
No.
the bubble that was the dot-com.
Yeah.
And so this is nowhere near as like at that phase. But I think to your point, I think the hype cycle happened really fast. I think
Yeah.
it was accelerated by COVID. We definitely experienced that at Playform. As soon as the quarantine hit, we started seeing our traffic numbers go up because all these artists were trying to figure out how to go online. People, there's the creativity that was just so restricted from quarantine, and people were looking for new outlets. And so you had this like kind of wave of new digital artists enter the industry, and things will keep going. So we got another question. If you collaborate with a musician on an NFT piece, how would you set up the division of currency? I don't know if there's really an answer for this yet. I would say, like, we're seeing kind of different standards in regards to that. But do you have any thoughts on it? Like, if you do collaborate with a musician, how do you kind of split up the sale, I guess is what she's asking.
I'm not sure. I think it would depend on the piece. That's
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah. Is it like it's, yeah.
And that's kind of what I think too. Like, I feel like right now there are no standards.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we're going to have to all figure out as a community. Yeah. So just to answer the person who is engaging in the comments, yes, this is something you could do with the smart contract. But I wouldn't be able to like kind of advise you on what I think the percentage should be, since it's going to matter depending on what musician you're talking about. And I just think in general right now, I think we're all kind of figuring out what is this NFT market going to look like? What are going to be the standards? What are, what should a musician get versus an artist? And, all of these things I think are going to start to form best practices and standards over time as more and more people get into this industry, as more of these deals are made, and all of that. So any other questions? We're getting ready to wrap up, and I think we've gotten through most of the questions here. So if you have any additional questions, please throw it into the comments now. And just to let everyone know, so the collection, My Brain on Drugs, is now on OpenSea. It's within the Playform storefront in a collection called My Brain on Drugs. So you can go on OpenSea and look up My Brain on Drugs. We've also shared links in the chat here. And you can also go to playform.io and you'll see tons of links to the exhibition from there as well. Also, if you've been inspired by this this conversation and now you're thinking, I want to create an NFT, you can go to playform.io and all new users get a free $15 in trading credits, as well as you'll get to try out some of the mix and sketch features as well. So, we're fully aware that AI is just so new. No one really understands exactly what a creative AI is. And so we give away a free trial so that everyone can try it and, kind of really play with it and learn for themselves the power of this new technology. So yeah, anything else you want to share with the community, Sita?
I don't know.
Well, they can follow you on Twitter at...
Yeah. Playform is so cool. I love it.
And we really love working with you too. I think, as I was saying, about the collectors and how they're bringing this kind of new energy and just kind of representative of where we're going as a species. I feel the same way about you. I think you represent the kind of new wave of artists who are not just creative, but also technical, the people who can use their right brain and their left brain and bring it together to inspire us. I think you're representative of that kind of new wave of artists, and it's been just so much fun working with you. And
I'm gonna miss our meetings.
Well, I'm gonna be a collector now, so you guys can go try to outbid me. I'll probably I got some more ether, so I'll be going after those bids. Get over to OpenSea, start placing your bids now. The auction will close in 7 days. Thank you so much, Sturec, for taking the time to just chat with all of us today. Thank you to everyone that attended.
Thanks, everyone.
And everyone have a really happy 420. And I really mean that. Enjoy your 420.
Don't do drugs.
Well, depending on
I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding. Do drugs.
I live in California, Sita. All right. Thank you, everyone. And that is the conclusion of our artist talk today. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.